Hi, welcome to Yoga 413. My name is Tauni, and today's class that I have for you is just an all-around do yoga, feel good class. If you use a yoga block, you might want to keep that handy. I always have mine close by in case I need it. And if you love this video, I just ask you that you subscribe and please share it with a friend. Let's get started. We're going to start seated near the top of your mat. Just take some time here to take some long, deep breaths, sitting up tall. And today, let's just focus on being thankful. Thankful for our time on the mat, thankful for our bodies that do so much for us day in and day out. And we're just going to be thankful that we can move today. Bringing the hands to the heart, I invite you to set a personal intention for your practice. Let's take our hands back to the knees, and we're just going to simply flow through some seated cow and cat. So as you inhale, I want you to just draw the heart forward. Shoulders are down your back. And then as you exhale, I want you to round the spine, bringing the chin towards the chest. Again, inhale, opening everything up forward, and exhale back. At your own pace, just trying to match breath and movement. Let's do that just a couple more times. One more flow. Now we're going to come forward onto all fours into that tabletop position, fingers spread wide. Now we're going to take the knees wide back to an extended child's pose. So taking the stretch into the back, the fingers are spread. Trying to press into the hands and lift the wrist and elbows off the mat. Now we're going to lift all the way back up, draw the knees in, and come into a supported plank. So your body's more at a diagonal, your shoulders are over your wrist. And now slowly, with the elbows going back, you're going to lower to the mat. Lift the chest up for a baby cobra, pressing the tops of the feet into the mat. Releasing back down. Keeping the knees down, pressing back to that supported plank. Tuck the toes underneath you. Let's lift the hips up for our first down dog. And gently alternate bending your knees. And now just find stillness in your stretch of downward facing dog. We're going to start to lift the right leg up, keeping the hips square. And then step all the way forward, dropping the back knee to the mat, rising up, being sure your front knee is over that ankle, relax into the hips, into those hip flexors. Today, let's interlace the hands with the exception of the index fingers, cross the thumbs, and then exhale over towards that right side. Let's come back up, take the hands down, step back to downward facing dog. Beginning to lift that left leg up. Again, lead with that heel. As you exhale, come forward, step the foot, drop that back knee, and rise up. Interlace, accept index fingers, and lean over to the left. Let's lift it back up, come back down, step back to down dog. Stepping your feet forward. Take an inhale and lengthen the spine, flatten that back. shoulders are down. Exhale and fold. As you inhale, reach all the way up to stand. Take that right arm down and reach across, just really stretching into the side body. And then lifting it up, and we're just going to do the same thing on the other side. Lengthen, reach through the fingertips. Bringing it back up, hands to the heart center. Sun salutation A, inhale, reach up. And forward fold, softening the knees as needed. Gaze forward, flatten the back. And fold. Step back to plank. Taking the knees down. Lower all the way down to the mat. Lift the chest for Cobra pose. Tuck the toes back to downward facing dog. Looking forward, bringing the feet to the hands, lengthen the spine, and fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, bringing the hands back to the heart center. Inhale, lift up. Exhale and fold. Gaze forward, create some space here in the spine, and fold. Stepping back to plank. You're welcome to drop your knees. If not, shift forward, lower all the way down to the mat. Flip the feet over, peel up for Cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Bringing the feet forward and fold. Inhale, rise up strong with a flat back, hands to the heart. Let's do that one more time through. Reach up and fold forward. Inhale, flatten that back and fold. Stepping back to our plank, shifting forward all the way down to the mat. Cobra pose. Downward facing dog. Bringing your feet to the hands. Forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up to stand. Hands to the heart center. So we're going to keep the right foot facing forward as we step wide for warrior two. Your shoulders are over your hips. That's funny. And just hold here, gazing down that front arm. Let's start to straighten that forward leg. Reach forward, coming into triangle pose. And there's nothing magical about reaching the floor, so just worry about your alignment over your front leg. If you have that block handy, you're welcome to put it here. Put your hand on that block. Let's lift back up. Re-bend that knee to warrior two. Now we're going to start to lean forward, coming a little bit deeper into the hips, and come into a supported angle pose. And again, I'm going to stay here today, or you're welcome to take that hand to the floor or to a block if you want a deeper pose. Let's lift back up to warrior two, sink. Now we're going to come to a 5-pointed start. Turn the toes to the corners and bend the knees, coming into sun pose. So opening those knees wide, sink into your legs. Let's lift up, turn your toes in, and hinge forward for your standing straddle, reaching for the outsides of the feet. Let's take the hands right underneath you, lifting up, and take that right arm up without moving the hips into a twist. Bringing that hand down, and now we're just going to switch sides, taking the left hand up. And you could always just take that hand to the hip if that's more comfortable for you. Bringing it back down. Let's take the hands to the waist and come up to stand. Step or hop, feet together. Let's sit back into chair pose. So weights back, more onto the heels. Back is straight. Let's bring the hands to the heart and step back to the top of your mat. Reach up and fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale and fold. Stepping back to plank. Shift forward, lower all the way to the mat with the elbows in and a back straight. Cobra pose. Downward facing dog. Looking forward, bring your feet to your hands and fold. Inhale, rise up to stand, bringing the hands to the heart. So this time you're going to keep your left foot stationary as you step open wide for warrior two. Now begin to straighten that leg, reaching forward, coming into triangle pose. Easing up if it's comfortable for the neck. Lifting back up, rebending that knee for warrior two. Now we're going to lengthen through the waist of both sides, coming into supported angle. Or again, you're welcome, hand to a block or all the way down to the floor. Let's lift it back up to warrior two. Straighten the arms, the legs, the toes go to the corners of the mat. Bend into that sun pose. Belly pulls in. Back is up nice and straight. Let's lift it up as you turn your toes in, reach for that straddle, hinge forward with a nice flat back. Once you're down, relax your facial features, your head, your neck. Take those hands underneath you, lift up halfway. Let's try that twist again. Really squeeze those belly muscles, taking that right arm up, level hips, and you could always go deeper by taking that left hand across. Let's come back down and switch sides. Squeeze, and again, you could go deeper by taking that right hand near the left foot. Bringing it back down, flatten that back, just come up onto the fingertips. Hands to the waist, come all the way up. Step or hop, feet together, sink into chair pose. Beautiful job. Bring those hands back to the heart. Let's step to the top of your mat. Inhale, reach up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, create the space in the back and fold. Stepping back to plank pose. We're going to hold plank here. Be sure your alignment, shoulders, elbows, wrists in a line, straight up and down. Always welcome to drop the knees. So today I want you to bring your feet together if you can. Just do your best. Roll to that right side, taking the left arm up. Now we're just going to place that left foot in the center of the mat for support. It's a great stretch here for your hip. So some of you might be staying here. Others might go deeper into that stretch, dropping the hip. Again, just see how you feel today. Lifting it back up. Bringing the hand down. Let's go back to plank pose. Remember, you can always hit pause or just take a child's pose if you need a break. Bringing the feet together, rolling to the left side, taking that right arm up. Right foot to the center, the long edge of your mat, holding here. Or maybe just see how that stretch goes, taking the hip a little bit closer to the floor. Lifting it back up and coming back into plank pose. Feet and hands shoulder and hip distance apart. Let's lift it up and back for downward facing dog. We're going to bring our feet forward to our hands and fold. Inhale, rise up to stand. Hands to the heart center. Let's balance into eagle pose. So just gently bending your knees. We're going to take that left foot up as high as we can around the thigh. Wrap it around. And then left arm underneath right, coming into eagle. So you might choose to keep the back of your hands together or the palms. Lift those elbows a little higher to deepen that stretch. I'm struggling today. Let's release out of the pose, taking the feet back, hip distance apart. Come into a fold, hinge forward. We're going to deeply bend that right knee and take the left hand up for a standing twist. So you're trying to get that left leg as straight as you can. Bringing it down and switching sides. Deeply bend the left, straighten the right. Right hand comes up. Coming back into your fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Hands to the heart. Let's try eagle on the other side. Hopefully I do better on this side. Soften those knees, back is straight. Pick up the right as high as you can on the thigh. Wrap it around. Kickstand is perfectly acceptable. Right arm underneath left. Palms together and lift. Beautiful job, guys. Go ahead and relax. Shake that out. Near the top of your mat, let's reach up and fold. Last time through, inhale, lengthen the spine, shoulders back, and fold. Step back for plank. Shift forward all the way down to the mat. Peel that chest up. Cobra pose. Downward facing dog. Now we're just going to come forward and have a seat on the mat. And we're going to find boat pose. So find those sits bones. Lean back. You want your back nice and straight, your shoulders back. You're welcome to hang on, lifting the feet up off the floor. Maybe letting go. Careful that you don't hold your breath in these poses. You're also welcome to straighten your legs if you want that as well. Now we're going to extend the legs out to the mat. Take your fingers facing your feet, hands right underneath the shoulders. We're going to lift up into inclined plank. So as you inhale, I want you to press, take the big toes down towards the mat, open up the chest and shoulders. And if this is too intense, you are welcome to bend the knees and come into an inclined tabletop. Let's go ahead and release that down to the mat. Toes up, sit up tall, reach it up and over for your fold. Now we're just going to come up and roll it down one vertebrae at a time, nice and slow. Again, you might take a knee for support. Let's hug the knees into the chest. Gently rock side to side. Let's take the feet to the floor, hands at your sides. When you're ready, you're going to press up into a bridge pose. So inhale, lift it all the way up. Walk those shoulders together and down the back. You can always interlace here, add a chest expansion if you'd like. And if you need support, hands to the hips. Let's separate those hands, lower the hips. Cross that right ankle over the left knee with the foot flexed and lift up for our figure four stretch. Great stretch here for the hip, guiding that knee out to the side. Let's come out of that and switch sides. Left over right, foot is flexed and lift up. Gently pulling that thigh a little closer as the knee goes out to the side. Some of you might want to go ahead and reach up to the shin. Take that down. Let's extend that left leg. Pull that right knee into the chest. Give it a nice, gentle pull down. Keep lengthening through that left leg. And now we're going to come into our spine twist, keeping the shoulders on your mat, turning to gaze down that arm. Roll back onto our back and do the same thing on the other side, pulling that left knee in gently. Drop it across for your spine twist. Let's bring it back onto your back. We're going to go into happy baby pose. So you lift those ankles above the knees, grabbing onto the big toes, thumb on top, and then gently pulling the knees down. Let's bring the soles of the feet together and slowly lower down to the mat into reclining butterfly. I invite you to just close your eyes, take some long, deep breaths. Start to soften. Extending the legs out for our final resting pose of Shavasana. And just letting feelings of gratitude come over us, thankful for our bodies that move, that we can be so hard on and judge so much. And in reality, we have so much to be thankful for. Let's take just a few moments here of stillness and quiet. Take a nice big breath in, reach those arms over your head, point the toes, just a nice long stretch as you awaken. Bringing the hands to your sides, and let's just roll over onto your right side into that fetal position with knees bent. Set your intention for the rest of the day, knowing that you did a good thing for your body by practicing yoga. Let's go ahead and come on up to a seated position on your mat. Let's take one more deep breath in, bringing the hands to the heart. And from my heart to yours, namaste. Thank you so much for joining me for class. Have a blessed day.